to Relationship Realities with
Roland
and Raina. We're going to be bringing you a little funny, a little crazy, and a whole lot of reality.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, guys.
Hey, if you're new to the podcast, be sure to stick around. You're going to learn a thing today, that's for sure.
Yes, and hopefully have a laugh or two.
Yes, of course. So what we're going to do today, we're going to go over what we did this past weekend, okay? And then we're also going to be talking about specifically being responsible for your own happiness.
Yes, absolutely.
And then last but not least, of course, we're going to go over the poll that we set up for last week.
Oh my gosh, that episode was crazy. If you haven't listened to last week's episode, I highly recommend it. We actually took a break from our normal format and took a message from a listener about a situation that he was going through with his relationship. And, you know, we read the message on the podcast and we discussed it. Roland had some pretty strong feelings about it. And we put the poll out to the listeners, to you guys, to see what you thought about it. So we're going to be discussing that at the end of this podcast.
Oh, yeah. All right. So jumping into what we did this weekend.
Yes. So as all of you know, this past weekend was a Memorial Day weekend. And the local National Cemetery here in Fredericksburg puts on an annual event. It's a Luminaria. And basically what it is that the park service, as well as the local Boy Scout troops, and I'm not too sure, I'm sure there are other volunteers as well, but they put a bag, if you know what a luminaria is, basically it's a small paper bag with a tea light candle inside. So they set these luminarias out throughout the cemetery and along the paths, and there is one luminaria for each soldier that is resting there in the cemetery. So if you can imagine these just thousands of these white paper bags all over the cemetery. And it was really, even during the daytime, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful to see this and to see all the hard work that all of the people, the volunteers had put in to make this event, happen every year. And so Roland and I went during the day to get some video footage because we were going to do a video of the full event. And we got some great footage during the daytime, talked to one of the awesome park rangers that works there. And when we went back that evening, literally as we opened the car door, the sky pretty much opened up on us.
Yeah.
So it was very unfortunate. We probably got maybe 5 seconds, if even that, of some of the luminarias that were lining the walkway up to the cemetery. We didn't even actually get to the cemetery because it was raining so hard.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate.
It was. I really felt for the volunteers that put in such hard work to make that event happen. And just to know that all of that time that they spent really got wiped out. And hopefully there were people that did get to experience it before the sky opened up. But from what we saw during the daytime, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. And we have that video up, and we'll have a link to that in our podcast notes.
Absolutely.
So let's jump into this episode, Roland. I think this was an eye-opener. The article that you sent me earlier was pretty eye-opening. And, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so the article's from cheatsheet.com, but it did state something that was actually not really eye-opening, but I don't think a lot of us really think about it that often. And it's the fact that you are responsible for how happy you are, essentially.
Right.
In basic terms, is just that if you're not happy, you have to work on you, right?
Right.
So don't rely on somebody else to make you happy. Now, to break it down a little bit, so I admit I've been guilty of this in the past, thinking that the person I'm with or the people that I'm around were keeping me from basically just being happy. I assume that, okay, they're somewhat happy. Why aren't I? Right? Or whatever they're doing isn't reflecting very well on me. So it makes me not very happy, like fulfilled or anything. But it definitely comes down to who you are, right? And being okay with you. And also doing something that makes you feel like you're fulfilled, like you actually have a purpose. That's a
Right.
big thing.
Right. I agree. I think that it's very important to understand who you are and the things that you enjoy and the reason why you enjoy those things, and to not really budge from that. And you hear a lot of times people that jump from relationship to relationship really never have an opportunity
Yeah.
to figure out who they are as a person and what they want. They just kind of feeding off of their most previous relationship. And well, if that person likes this, well, then maybe I need to be this way, instead of saying, no, I am me. This is what I like. And this is, what I'm willing to, conform or not conform, or compromise actually should be a better word. But, instead of doing that, they just kind of go with the flow. And like you said, they expect other people, they expect their partner to make them happy. And one of the things that the article talks about that I thought was really good is that, in the beginning stages of the relationship, of course, you're in that honeymoon stage. So,
Right.
of course, what your partner does, or, it makes you happy, and to see them makes you happy. And the things, everybody's perfect at that, beginning part of the relationship. Not everybody is perfect, though. Everybody has off days. And if you are depending on your partner to make you happy, when your partner has an off day, you automatically have an off day. And that's not fair, because everybody should be allowed to have an off day. And you should be comfortable with yourself and happy with yourself in order to lift your partner up,
Yeah.
when they need it.
Absolutely. And it's not even about partners even. I mean, it is about partners, but it's also about friends. So anybody that surrounds you, you can't expect them to make you happy. It's the same idea that money will never make you happy either.
Right.
It's all about you, right? So it's you gotta look inside yourself and figure out, what about myself do I not like to the point? Now, this is all subconscious.
Right.
What about yourself don't you like to the point that you just don't feel happy?
And what can you do to
And
change it?
yeah,
and
what
make
can
it
you do
better?
to change it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like either accept your flaws or find something that makes you, like I said before, makes you feel fulfilled, like you're actually doing something that you're passionate about,
Right.
or something like that.
I think a lot of it is perspective. That you hear, like you said just a little bit ago, that money can't make you happy. There are people that work, 80 hours a week, and they have all the money in the world, but they're not really happy.
No, they're not
And then you
happy.
have people that work minimum wage that are living a very fulfilled life, and they're happy. Could they use a little bit more money? Sure.
Right.
But they're happy in their lives, and they're happy, with what they do and their friends. And it just goes to show you that it's perspective. And it's, like you said, it's being happy with yourself and being happy with who you're around and who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
And I think one of the big things too, is that if you are happy, you're going to bring that happiness to your relationship, and not just your intimate partner relationships, but like you said, your friendships.
Right.
And there's going to be days where your friends are having a bad day, and you're going to be that person to lift them up, because we all have bad days. And that's one of the important things about being happy with yourself, is knowing that you have that strength to help other people. And there's going to be days that you have a bad day. And if you're around good people, they're going to be there to lift you up too. And it's super important. You can't be the, frowny face that's always pulling everybody down, because nobody's going to want to be around you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that it's extremely important to figure out what it is that would make you happy, like you said, to make you feel fulfilled, whether it's a hobby, whether it's, a job change, but it's you. It all comes down to you. Nobody lives your life but you. So you need to make yourself happy and be happy, because putting that expectation off on anybody else is absolutely wrong, and it's misguided.
Yeah, that's super great advice, babe. I will say we'd like to hear what y'all think too. So leave a comment either on the end of the podcast itself or on our website, rrwithrr.com. So moving on to the poll.
It was 100%. As of the time of this recording, it was 100% in favor of John leaving the relationship. And again, if you have not listened to it,
You need to.
Yes, you definitely need to.
You have to. It's so much drama, so much juice.
It was it was definitely a lot of chismes, as we say. Yes, so a lot of chismes. So definitely go take a listen to that. And like I said, the poll is still up. It'll be up for another couple of hours. It'll probably be closing very shortly after this podcast airs. So if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it and cast your vote. And you can definitely leave us a comment on the podcast and let us know what you think. You can find the podcast on our Facebook. And how do you get to our Facebook?
You can go to rrwithrr.com, and in the upper left there is all of our social media buttons.
Yes.
You just click on that one that looks like the Facebook button. Click on that, takes you right over to Facebook.
And we also have our Instagram button, we have our Twitter, and we have our YouTube. Roland works crazy hard producing all of our videos up for the channel. So be sure to get on over to our YouTube and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, get on there, over there, look at that too. So that's this week's episode.
That is. We hope that you guys enjoyed it. We love to hear your feedback. So please like, comment, and share this podcast with anybody that you know that would enjoy it.
Absolutely. And until next Thursday, guys.
See you later, guys.
See ya.